Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kyla, and I'm about to film one of my favorite videos that I do on this channel, which is my most anticipated books. I do it by quarter because I feel like that's a little bit more digestible. Coffee here. You might want to grab a drink. You also might want to pull up your Goodreads, your Fable, your Storygraph, wherever you track your books, or just the notes app in your phone, and keep a list in case there's any that I mentioned that you haven't heard of yet. I find that very helpful when I'm watching these videos. I'm like constantly adding to my want to read list. I am going to scooch over so I can put the book covers up here for you. I am so excited. There are so many good books coming out in just these 3 months. And I won't lie, there are a lot of sequels and also just parts of series in this list as well. So this might not be as exciting as it is for me if you're not reading those series. But that's what this list is. This is the list of books that I am personally very excited about. It's not anything and everything that's coming out. It's ones that I know for sure I'm going to be reading. So if you have very similar reading tastes to me, this list will align with you. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. I also will say I have put these books in order of date that they are coming out. However, that is always subject to change, so definitely double check. The first one is the next in the Wayward Children series, which is A Drifts and Currents Clean and Clear. That is a mouthful of a title by Shauna Maguire. This is number 9, I believe. Oh, number 10, actually. It's number 10. And I won't go too much into this. It is the 10th in the series. If you are not following the series, you definitely should be. It's portal fantasy. These are quick, short novellas, but they pack a punch. They have diverse characters. They have queer characters. They have characters from all walks of life, and they are incredible. I absolutely love them. They are so inclusive. The writing is perfect. There's also usually little illustrations throughout the books. I'm obsessed. This is set to publish on January 7th, which is actually the day that I'm filming this, so I need to be ordering this as soon as possible. This is on my January TBR. I love to read them as soon as they come out, so I need to be ordering this. Next one is Witchcraft for Wayward Children by Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix. Ooh, we have such a mixed bag relationship there. I have loved some of his books. I have really not loved some of his books. Like, within the past couple of years, some of his have not been my favorite. However, he is one of those authors, like a Riley Sager, like a Kate Alice Marshall. For me, I will continue to read his books, despite maybe not loving some of the other ones. I'll just always give it a chance. They are long, though. I have noticed they are getting longer and longer, and like I don't know how I feel about that, especially in horror, because I just feel like horror does not sit as well when it's long. Regardless, we have this one. This is set to publish on January 14th. I did see he posted on Instagram like a mood board for this book, and it actually looks so incredible. And I love me a witch story, so this one, out of all his others for the past couple years, sounds more up my alley. If you know me, you know that I love to go into books blind, so I normally in these videos will only do like a sentence or two of what the book is about or like what caught my eye. So this one, it says, they call them wayward girls, loose girls, girls who grew up too fast, and they're sent to Wellwood Home in St. Augustine, Florida, where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. That is all I need to know, knowing that there's witchcraft in the title. I don't need to know anything else. I am so excited for this one. This one is close to 500 pages, so like, man, it better deliver. And then we have a book that I actually already own, and that is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. I haven't read it yet, despite it being in my hands. I like to wait. I'm like not an ARC gal. Well, this is not an ARC. I got it from Book of the Month, but like, I'm just not an ARC gal. Like, I want to read it when it comes out and like be in the buzz with everyone else. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I totally get it if you are an ARC gal. I'm just not, okay? I just want to be with everyone else reading it. Anyways, this is set to publish officially on January 14th, although Book of the Month did have it as a pick last month, so they actually had it like a month early, which is exciting. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't care to know anything, especially when it comes to like thrillers. I especially don't want to know anything. I do believe this has husband and wife, which like domestic thrillers aren't usually my thing, but I don't care. I'm gonna read it anyways. It's Alice Feeney. She is also another author that has been hit or miss for me. I'm excited. I freaking love this cover so much. And also, like, shout out to Book of the Month for having, like, they're stepping up their cover game with, like, it's not just being, like, flat. I've gotten a few that have had, like, textured. This one has, like, iridescent lettering on it. Good on you, Book of the Month. And then we have, I feel like a lot of people's either most anticipated or just like they just need it, and it's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Am I like an Empyrean series stan? No. I'm like a hate to love kind of gal. I think it is so poorly written. I just do not like a lot of the characters, and yet there is something in it that just keeps me coming back. It could be the cliffhanger endings. I don't know. It's one of those books that like I love to make fun of, but I also have a lot of fun reading it. And honestly, if it weren't for the dragons, I probably wouldn't show up anymore. They make the book. They make the book. It's not Violet. It's not Xaden. It's not any of them. It's the dragons. I obviously don't care to know anything about this because I want to read it along. I'm going to be reading this with two of my friends as like we started a book club, and I'm very excited about it. It's a hate to love. It's a hate to love. It's set to publish on the 21st, and I did pre-order it. I wasn't sure if I was going to. I did. So I will be reading it pretty much immediately. And I can't wait. And then the last one for January is the second in the, I don't even know what this series is called, the Fair Folk series. The first one is A Feather So Black, which I actually haven't read yet, you guys. It's on my TBR. I plan on getting to it, I think in like March, either next month or March. I don't know. There's something about this because it has like Celtic vibes. So I feel like March is the perfect time to read it with St. Patrick's Day. Look, I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like that would be the perfect time. I don't know. I'm making that up in my head. It's fine. But we have the second book in the series called A Crown So Silver. And yes, am I still excited for it even though I haven't read the first one? Absolutely am. Absolutely am. I'm not going to read anything about this because I don't want to be spoiled for what happens in the first one. So all I will say is that this is set to publish on the 21st. I will be getting to A Feather So Black very soon, and then I think it'll be good because then the sequel will already be out and I don't have to wait. So I think that's perfect timing. All right, moving on to February. The first one I actually already have in my hands as well because, again, shout out to Book of the Month for having books early, is A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This is set to publish on the 4th. Again, I know nothing. Judging by this cover, I'm guessing it's a wintry thriller. Look, it's Kate Alice Marshall, okay? I have loved so many of her books. And then I actually gave one of her books last year 2 stars, maybe even a 1 star. I gave it away immediately because it was that bad. So this does make me a little nervous, but I'm also equally excited. Also, this book is tiny. Like, it's so small. It's under 300 pages. So, like, we love a quick thriller. And I do, like, no matter what the book is, even if I love it or hate it, Kate Alice Marshall's writing, it's so good. It is so good. So I'm excited to see what she does with, like, a wintry thriller. She definitely does, like, creepy, eerie really well. These Fleeting Shadows was one of my favorites from her, and it just is incredible. I believe this is like an isolation kind of story. I don't really want to know anything more than that. I need more thrillers in my life this year for sure, and I hope she does the isolation trope so well. And then we have The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. She is the same author as the Witch Haven series, which I really enjoyed. I know it wasn't for everyone. I really loved it. It was so cute and just so dark and eerie at the same time. This one is set to publish on February 4th as well. And Goodreads says this is The Cruel Prince meets The Selection in this captivating duology. So it's the start of a series brimming with heart-pounding romance, vicious competition, and beautiful, cruel fae. So it says every citizen of England is granted one bargain from their immortal fae queen. High society girls are expected to bargain for qualities that will win them suitors. A rare talent for piano in exchange for one's happiest childhood memory. A perfect smile for one's ability to taste. And then it goes on from there. I don't need to know anything more than that. This cover is giving. It's giving. I love it so much. I've also seen a variety of different covers for this book and they're all gorgeous. I don't know which one I'm going to choose, but this is one that I will be purchasing. I could also see this being a book of the month pick or a aardvark pick. I could be wrong, but I do feel like it could be one of those, so we'll have to see. I'm just so excited to have another book from her. I loved the Witch Haven series so much, so it's the start of another duology. I'm here for it. And we have an interesting one. It is The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune, which is his first thriller. Is this cover giving thriller to you? Because it's not to me. It's giving cozy fantasy. I feel like if he was going to dabble in a different genre, he needed to step out of the side of the box in terms of his covers. Now, normally I wouldn't say that. Normally I'm like, I want all of the books from like the same author to give a similar vibe so that they all look like cool on my shelf if I want to group them together. However, if you're jumping ship from like to completely different genre, I feel like you need to do something a little bit different. And this is not giving thriller to me. This is giving cozy fantasy. However, it is a thriller. This is set to publish on the 4th as well. And it just says a spine-tingling thriller about a 10-year-old girl with an impossible power, her father, an unlikely stranger who come together to confront the dangerous forces that want her at all costs. A strange story of family, love, comets, and bacon. Perfect for fans of Stranger Things. So, like, is it still giving the vibe of cozy fantasy? Yes, but it's being marketed as a thriller, which I just find so interesting. Although I will say the Goodreads tags aren't tagging it as a thriller, so it makes me think that maybe it won't be in, like, the thriller category at the end of the year, which makes me happy, because if it is more cozy fantasy, like, it's weird that the description is giving thriller, but the rest of it isn't. So it says science fiction, fantasy, romance, queer, which we love, obviously, fiction, paranormal, all the things. But, like, why is it being marketed as a thriller? That I don't understand. And then we have the next in the None Shall Sleep series. The first one was None Shall Sleep. And the next one, this is number 3, is All Shall Mourn by Ellie Marney. I'm not going to read anything about it because I don't want to be spoiled. I have read the first 2 in the series and really enjoyed them. This is like young adult Criminal Minds. Need I say anything else? Young adult Criminal Minds. If you know me, you know that Criminal Minds has my entire heart. Okay? My entire heart. It is my favorite TV show, pretty much of all time. I'm obsessed with it. So you put that in a book, and I'm going to show up for it. I love it so much. I loved the first book more than the second one, but I'm hoping this like I think this is the end of the series, so I hope that this concludes everything really well and we get some like heart-pounding scenes, because even though it is YA, it definitely goes there. There were some scenes in the first one where I was like, oh, I'm officially creeped out. So I'm excited for this. This is set to publish on the 5th. That's weird. Why is it a day later? And that's weird. Anyways, set to publish on the 5th. I'm excited. I will be picking this up. And then another sequel, we have the second to Heartless Hunter, which was my favorite book of last year. So you best believe I shall be running to the store to pick this up. I could have pre-ordered it, but I want that experience of running to the store to get it. Also, this is a book of the month copy. I might be tempted to buy like an actual copy of it and sell this one, because I want that experience of going to the store. Will Book of the Month have it? Maybe. But like, I just want better copies. This is my favorite book of the year. I don't want my favorite book of the year to be a Book of the Month copy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to find some special editions that I love. Anyways, rant much, hi, hello. This is set to publish on February 18th. Perfect Valentine's Day gift to me. It's called Rebel Witch. I don't need to read anything. I know I keep saying that. No, absolutely not will be spoiled by any of the synopsis whatsoever. All I need to know is that this book has dug into my soul at this point. I love it so much. I can't stop thinking about it. It's the way that A Study in Drowning is like forever singed into my brain. That's how this book is, and I cannot wait to see, especially after the ending of this book, where we go from here. I've heard there's going to be lots of tears. I would not be surprised because I cried at the end of the first book, so that's saying something. I cannot wait. And I know so many of you are also looking forward to this one. It's coming so soon. And then the last one for February, kind of a rogue option, if I'm being honest, is Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. I have not read a Gillian McAllister yet. I know she's a somewhat popular thriller author. I'm not gonna lie, the covers of her books kind of turn me off. Like, I am that person that's judging a book by its cover, okay? I mean, that's just your first impression, right? So, like, I am 1000% judging a book by its cover. And these covers of hers typically don't do it for me. There's something about the font. It's giving House Across the Lake, which was not my favorite Riley Sager by any means. So it just, I don't know, there's something about it. But the synopsis of this sounded really good, and it sounds like something that I could really enjoy. And like I said, I'm wanting some really good thrillers, and like, that means that I need to be trying new authors as well. And while she's not new, she would be new to me. So we're gonna give this one a whirl. This one is set to publish on February 27th, and it just says it is June 21st, the longest day of the year, and the life of new mother Camilla is about to change forever. After months of maternity leave, she will drop off her infant daughter at daycare for the first time and return to her job as a literary agent, which, like, I love when people have jobs that are surrounding books in books. I love it. She said, finally. But when she wakes, her husband Luke isn't there, and in his place is a cryptic note. That just sounds really interesting to me. It sounds like we're gonna get like a hostage situation, but I like the fact that we have this kind of like new mom element to it. And like, while I'm not a mom, I feel like it's giving a little bit of like The Push, which is a book like I really enjoyed. So I don't know. I just feel like I need to try it out, and like, what better way than a new release? I do know that her other thriller, Wrong Place, Wrong Time, I think is what it's called, was like really popular. So maybe I'll get to that one this year too. But I just had to put it on this list. Again, set to publish February 25th, or 25th, sorry. Did I say the 27th? The 25th. And yeah. Okay, moving on to March, which March has some of my most anticipated books of the entire year. So this is very exciting. The way I am counting down to March. Oh, I can't wait. The first one is Spells, Strings, and Forgotten Things by Brienne Randall. She is the same author as The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic, which I did give 3 stars, but I really did enjoy her writing and the way she like wove family into her story. I really enjoyed it. It was being compared to Gilmore Girls at the time, and I feel like it really missed the mark on that. Like, there was like, it was very Gilmore Girls heavy in the beginning, and then it kind of fell away. So I just feel like it was being marketed wrong. This one also is surrounding witches, which I'm very excited about. I love stories around witches. I just do. This is set to publish on March 4th, and it just says, a young witch cursed with sacrificing memories to cast spells must decide how much she's willing to lose to save her town in this thrilling tale of magic, love, and self-discovery. That's all I need to know. It sounds like it's going to be, again, kind of another like hard-hitting, packed more emotion into it kind of story. I'm excited to check out another one from her. If it's another 3-star, we'll go from there, but I am really excited. I also believe this one has like a sister relationship in there, which I usually love reading about as well. So this should check a lot of boxes, but we shall see. And then we have This one I am so excited for. So excited for. This is Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reed, which is the same author as A Study in Drowning. I can't wait to have another one from her. We are getting the sequel to A Study in Drowning later in the year, which is like my most anticipated book, I think. Oh, I can't say that, but it's like one of my most anticipated books. This is a completely like separate standalone, and it just sounds so good, especially because it's being compared to The Last of Us meets The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is just so interesting. That's such an interesting combo. It sounds very like dystopian, or like we're gonna have a little bit of sci-fi in there. I also know this is queer. It's obviously a fantasy. It is a young adult, and this is set to publish on March 4th. Just sounds so different than A Study in Drowning, so I'm excited to read something else from her. I know she has some backlist titles as well. I have not gotten to those yet, but this one just sounds so interesting. That comparison, The Last of Us meets A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Like, I don't know what to do with that description other than just read it, you know? Just read it. And then we have one of my, I know this, I keep saying this is one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I'm so happy that we are getting it. It's been years, you guys. It's been years. I have literally been counting down years for this book, and it is Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. It is the next in the Legendborn series. It's number 3. I do believe this is the final book. I could be completely wrong about that though. And if it's not, I'm here for it. I will continue to read the series. This is a series that completely caught me off guard. I did not expect to fall in love with it as much as I did, because it's a King Arthur it's inspired by King Arthur. That's what I will say. It's not a retelling by any means. It's inspired by King Arthur. There's like those heavy themes throughout, but it is so much more than that. And when I heard King Arthur, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's really my thing. No. The way Brie is forever ingrained in my brain. Like, I just love her as a character so much. And the way Tracy Deonn wove generational trauma into this book, wove culture into this book, wove conversations of race, while also having such an inclusive cast of characters. Oh my god, it's so good. While also making it like a heart-pounding fantasy, and also including a love triangle, like that's done right. Oh my god, there's so many things I love about the series so much. So this is the 3rd book, Oathbound. Again, I'm not going to read anything. Look, are you annoyed by me yet? Maybe, but like that's just how I roll, okay? I don't want to be spoiled. I really don't. So this is set to publish on the 4th as well. Alright, the next book I will declare as my most anticipated book of the year. I do believe that it is going to be most people's most anticipated book of the year. I don't think we're actually ready for this, but we are getting it. Like, we're ready. We waited so long. We are so ready as a fandom, but I'm not sure we're like mentally prepared for it. And it's Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, which is the prequel to The Hunger Games, where we are finally, after years and years and years and years and years of begging, pleading, screaming, crying, throwing up, getting Hamish's story. Mentally, I don't think we are going to be well after this book. Just thinking about it, I know we are not going to be mentally well. Has the potential to put us all in a reading slump after this book, right? Like, we might never recover. It is the most anticipated. I don't know what else to say about it other than that. It is most anticipated. It's set to publish on the 18th. There are no words. I reread The Hunger Games last year, just like for funsies. The way these books still pack a punch, all these years later, and actually feel more relevant today in what's going on in like the world. It's actually terrifying. I could go on, but like I also don't have anything else to say. This is the most anticipated book of the year, and it's coming in March. What will we all do after this? I'm not sure. We're all gonna collectively have a good cry. It's what's gonna happen. We're all gonna have a good cry together. It's gonna be very therapeutic, I feel like, but also leave us devastated at the same time. Okay, and the last one on this list, because I do have one more. I should have just ended with that, but I don't know what you want me to say. I don't make the dates for these. But the last one is This Book Will Bury Me by Ashley Winstead. This is set to publish on March 25th, and it's an Ashley Winstead. I've had, again, love-hate relationship with her as an author. I have loved some of her books. In My Dreams, A Hold a Knife is still like one of my top favorite thrillers of all time, but I have also not loved some of her other books as well, so we'll have to see what this one has to offer. This one just says, a chilling, compulsive story of 5 amateur sleuths whose hunt for an elusive killer catapults them into danger as the world watches. Now, this sounds more like we're going back to the vein of In My Dreams, Hold a Knife, which makes me even more excited for this book. We're kind of leaning away from like the cultish vibes that we've gotten from the past couple, and we are, I think, going back to our roots here. Amateur sleuths? Yes, we are all amateur sleuths at this point. I feel like you give a woman or a person identifying as such a phone and we will find out whatever it is you need us to find out, okay? You, like, there's no doubt. We are the amateur sleuths of the world. So I'm excited to see how this is put into a book. I just love it. Also, I am a true crime gal. I am excited for this one. Another author that I will read pretty much anything she puts out, because In My Dreams, Will Hold the Knife, like, I hold so dear that to me. What? I hold that so near and dear to me because I just love it as a thriller. And look, I know not everyone loved it. I loved it. That book still holds a candle in my heart. So I am excited for this one. I don't want to read anything else about it. And honestly, after Sunrise on the Reaping, like, maybe this is the book that will get us all out of the reading slump. Is that a lot of pressure? That's a lot of pressure. I don't want to do that to Ashley, but maybe. So those are all of the books that I am really excited about in Q1 of this year. I didn't include romance. Look, I just am still finding my footing. I find it very hard to like look at all of the romances coming out and decide what I'm interested in. So if there are romances that are coming out that you think that I might jive with, knowing that I am a fan of Abby Jimenez, some Allie Hazelwood, although I'm not loving the like spice factor that she's going into. I feel like she's losing me a little bit. Ashley Poston, authors like that. So if there's anything in that realm that you think I should be having my eyes on, please let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if there's any I missed that you really think that I would gravitate towards. Also, let me know out of these which ones you are most excited for. This quarter is going to be so good for books. Like, again, because I have so many sequels and series that I'm so excited about, but also just some really good ones, some really good standalones that I'm really looking forward to. So let me know what you are looking forward to. And again, if you have any others to add to the list, leave it as a comment. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! With you and I, the future is bright. Love to see it. Is A Killing Code by Kate Alice Marshall. Why is that so hard for me to say? A Killing Cold